Hello, my name is Yvonne, and I'm applying to the Delft course for computer science and engineering. And I personally found the process to be a little bit complicated when researching like help online or just general resources to help me out with the process. So I'm taking the CST exam, which is the entrance exam for the course, in 6 days, and I think I've gathered a substantial amount of resources and little tips that could help you or anyone you know applying for the course. So, first thing I want to start off is the fact that you have to start reading the logic. I'd say maybe if you want to feel comfortable and get enough practice in, I'd say around 2 weeks before the exam, or maybe 3 if you're a slow reader and it takes you some time to understand some concepts, because it's not easy and it takes some time. So I'd say 2 weeks would be optimal, but if you want to be safe and sure that you'll get a high score for logic and reasoning, then I'd say start maybe 3 weeks before the exam, reading the book and doing the practice problems. So it's pretty simple. You just have to read 2.1, 2.2, only 2.3.4 from section 2.3, section 2.4, and section 2.5. I'm not done reading everything yet. I think I finished reading 2.3, so I have 2.4 and 2.5 left. But it is quite hard for me personally. It's a little bit complicated. So I can provide you with a couple videos that could help you understand. So first video would be, not video but playlist, would be this one on YouTube. I mean, you can probably like search for this name on YouTube and find it, and find this playlist. It explains Boolean algebra and logic circuits quite well. So you could take a look at that while trying to understand the logic part. And also there's this Quizlet for the Delft CST logic exam. I find it quite good. It gives like terms of proposition logic and so on, and like you can practice this before the exam, and I think it can help quite a bit. So moving on to the math. So there aren't too many resources for the math, but they do give you the topics that are going to be included, and also an edX course, which you can access through the brochure. I think it's 1 second. Where is it? So yeah, this is where you can access the logic book, and then this link over here is where you can access the edX course. So once you're on the edX course, let's see, and you enrolled, you put in all of your information and everything like that. I like going to course, because just pressing on course and it gives you like this pop-up, which shows you, I guess, all the topics and all the weeks. So I recommend starting this course. It is quite helpful. The videos are very nicely explained. I recommend starting this, I'd say minimum 3 weeks before the exam, because it does take time for people who don't understand, and some days you're going to be lazy, you won't want to watch it, some days you will. So I'd recommend starting 3 weeks before the exam. But if you're in a hurry like me and doing everything sort of last minute, don't do that first of all, because I can compensate, because I am taking HL mathematics and the IB diploma, so my math skills are already very good, and I know already all of this is just sort of revision for me. Don't do it last second, start earlier. But if you are in a hurry, like right now I am, what I would recommend doing, so for example, going to week 1, going to the homework for week 1, they have like all the practice questions here for that week and for that topic. Let's see, checking out one of the topics that they have for practice. It's taking some time to load. And for example, say you don't know polynomials, right? Then you would I knew polynomials, I just practiced them. You can practice the questions, right? You practice until you go into something, you find something you don't know that well. Let's see, for example, I didn't know asymptotes that well, and I made some mistakes, right? And I was like, I don't understand asymptotes that well. So I went back to the course. This is assuming that you did cover most of the stuff, and you like don't remember some of the topics, because I think most people taking the test will know most of the topics in this course, but some they won't know. So let's say I didn't know asymptotes that well, so I would go to domain, codomain, and range, and I watched the videos they provide, right? Oh, sorry, this is a domain and range. Anyway, say you don't remember domain and range. You go here, you watch the video on domain and range, do some practice, a little bit of practice, you go back to the course. You go back to homework week 1. Since you already jogged your memory on what domain range was, I think this one was you go to domain and range, and then you do these assignments for the homework, because from what I've read online, they're gonna be similar to some extent as the ones on the actual CST exam, the questions on edX. That's from what I've gathered. I might be wrong, don't take my word for it, but I know this is like the sort of format and the sort of types of questions you'll get. This will be the closest sort of resource you can find online towards practicing like similar conditions for the CST. So then you go back to the week 1 homework, and then you do all of these problems, right? And in my case, for example, I think I only didn't know asymptotes, so I just watched a video on asymptotes that they had. They have very good explanations, and I jogged my memory. I did all of these assignments, and I moved on to the next assignment, right? And then you could just keep doing this process for week 2, homework week 1. Oh wait, that's week 1, sorry. Week 2, homework week 2, you do that. Week 3, homework week 3. So, and then you should be able to sort of cover all of the practice questions fairly quickly, and you continue until week 8 of the exam, right? And you should be able to jog your memory and get some good math practice in, right, to prepare for the exam. So, let's see. I guess for today that's all. Just a little bit on logic and reasoning and on math. I mean, write in the comments if you have any questions, be happy to answer. But just to go over it quickly again, go on homework week 1, or any week that you're on. For example, you don't understand asymptotes, you would go back to the where it was course. You would click on whichever one of these explains asymptotes, and in this case I think it's rational functions, and then you would watch the video, them explaining asymptotes. It's not that long. I mean, and if you don't have time, you don't have to do the practice on that certain chapter, like 1.4. You could just move on to homework week 1 right away. Watch that, and then do homework week 1 again, and then you'll understand asymptotes, get some practice in, and then just continue doing that for each week and get however far you can get. I recommend doing all of the week homework week practice. And yeah, for today that's all. Thank you.